I call myself a former student of Dr. Njeri Kinyanjui. I met her when she was a lecturer at Kenyatta University in the early 1990s. Before I joined university, I had worked for 7 years. So when I came to university, I was a bit of like, you can call me an ordinary student, but in very extraordinary circumstances. So starting with young people, 7 years my junior, and not so much easy to walk around and live around the normal campus life, which is vibrant, active, and so on. But fortunately, by God's grace, I met Dr. Kinyanjui. She was a lecturer in the Department of Geography. I am an economist, so I was a student of economics. And I got to hear many students talk about her. And though I was not in her class, but my classmates used to talk in the evening and during the day about Dr. Kinyanjui. So I was interested in who this person was. And one day we happened to meet with her. I think I was sent by my sister. And I learned that they had schooled together at some point. So we developed a bond. So I used to visit. She used to be our mentor. She used to guide me also in terms of focus on studies. Those years were very tough years, 1990s, because of the way the country was in the fight, during the fight of multi-partyism. So a student could easily get distracted by the life outside there, but Dr. Kinyanjui helped so much in keeping me focused in what I was doing and helping me to understand. But one of the things that really impressed me when I heard that she had studied at Cambridge University. When we were young people, we used to hear Cambridge, Oxford, such big names, but we believed that those were not for Kenyans. So when I heard that she had studied there, I said, oh, kumbe, there are some Kenyans who also study in those high places. And that gave me inspiration also as a student and helped me to focus on my studies. In economics, we study more about resource allocation, the scarcity of resources. So when I hear about the work that Dr. Kinyanjui does, we normally talk of the 4 factors of production: land, capital, labor, and entrepreneurship. Dr. Kinyanjui focuses more on the aspect of entrepreneurship, bringing those resources together, and then her focus on women. It's really an inspiring force, especially for us men who grew up in women-led families. I was brought up by my mother after my dad passed away, and I had 5 sisters. So women and the work that they do is really a critical thing for us men who have grown up or lived or worked with women in communities. So we find a lot of inspiration in that work that Dr. Kinyanjui does. And then in terms of the informal communities, when you read through her work, and especially I was so impressed about the Taveta phenomena, that Taveta Road phenomena, how the women carved a space. I think in the book she talks about spatial justice, that they were out in the fridges and they could not be able to work in the CBD. But through that community life, through that unity of purpose, friendship, they were able to carve space and get into the formal sector, right into the CBD, through that resilience of our women entrepreneurs. So it's a very inspiring thing, even for men, young people. It's very, very interesting to study about that. It's very informative. And therefore, I would say that for young people, especially, we should look up to what Dr. Njeri Kinyanjui has been doing, what she has written, the focus that she has on small and medium-sized enterprises. Because I think also as an economist, that is where the future of our country lies. That's where the future of communities lies. So more needs to be written, of course, about these themes and the practical lived experiences, especially women. And of course, Dr. Kinyanjui talks about the way women are not privileged by formal setups. It's sometimes historic, it's sometimes colonial, but because of their holding each other's hand, they are able to overcome those barriers. And that is something that we can pick from Dr. Kinyanjui's work. So I would say kudos, Dr. Njeri Kinyanjui, for what you have done. You have put the light on the candle for us, for the future generations, for young people, for women, for men, and therefore even for the government, policymakers, and such people. There's a lot that we can pick from her works. There's a lot that we can pick from her resilience. Of course, when you meet Dr. Kinyanjui for the first time, she's quiet, she doesn't talk loudly, she's a simple lady, but once you engage with her, then you can see the power behind the quietness, the energy behind her reflective mind, and the inspiration and the encouragement that she gives any person who works with her. Of course, she's a friend. As I said earlier, she schooled with my sisters, and therefore we have a bigger connection. I see her as my elder sister. Up to now, though she lives in the U.S., we communicate once in a while. So you can imagine from 1990s to today, we've been able to keep that connection, and that goes to say who the person of Dr. Kinyanjui is. And all of us can pick something from her. And I'm really privileged to be here today. Of course, there were many thousands and thousands of students during her time, but to be here, all of us, is really an honor and a good way to celebrate the work of one of our great women of our time. So keep it up, Dr. Kinyanjui. May God bless you in the work that you do. Write more books. I believe there is more that are calling every morning. I think there are some books which keep on inviting her. When are you going to write me? When are you going to write me? So even as we are not writers, we can also get that encouragement and motivation to be able to participate in that. Thank you.